It's a pretty bold claim. The idea that San Diego, with a much smaller tech workforce and much fewer venture capital dollars than Silicon Valley, could actually be the next center of the tech universe. I wanted to know if anybody working in the local tech industry actually thinks it's true. So I came down to the closing festival of San Diego Startup Week and asked people if they really think San Diego could be the next Silicon Valley.
Not quite. I don't think that that's true.
We're in a league of our own.
San Diego's definitely its own unique entity.
I don't think that San Diego is going to be the next Silicon Valley, but I do think it has the potential to be a major startup ecosystem and innovation hub.
Tim Ryan is the co-founder of Lab Fellows, a local startup that caters to the needs of biotech companies. Most people here agreed with him. They tended to say, no, San Diego is not the next Silicon Valley, but that's part of why they like being here. Jules Schwab is with Team Vibe, a workplace social networking site.
You go into Silicon Valley and it's huge. You've got big names, right? And here, there's just a stronger sense of community where everyone's pretty much 1 to 2 years into their company. We're a very small-knit, tight community.
True believers say San Diego's startup scene may be small, but it's growing. On Startup Week's website, organizers said there was a lot to celebrate this year because media outlets, including KPBS, were talking about whether San Diego could be the next Silicon Valley. A handful of people here fully endorsed that idea. Shadrach Vaughn is co-founder of Light App, which teaches millennials about personal finance.
It's totally possible. I mean, one, the housing is much cheaper here. There's a young group of people here. There's startup potential, there's space, and it's just like moving forward, we just need to execute on it.
But some basic facts show San Diego has a lot of catching up to do. Silicon Valley companies raise a lot more venture capital. Last year, they got about $28 billion of it. San Diego companies got just above $1 billion, and most of that went into biotech. San Diego also has far fewer tech workers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the heart of Silicon Valley has 2.5 times as many people working in jobs like computer programming and software development. That number doubles if you factor in workers from other parts of the Bay Area, like San Francisco and Oakland. But San Diego optimists say the tide could be turning. They say the Bay Area is getting too saturated, and those looking to jump ship could be attracted to San Diego. That rings true to Andrew Gazdecki. He's the CEO of a startup called Business Apps, and he just relocated his company to La Jolla.
We brought some things down from San Francisco. We brought ridiculous arcade game, Big Buck Hunter.
His company aims to make designing an app really easy for small business owners.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
The Business Apps office definitely looks like a San Francisco startup. It has the break room ping pong table, the standing desks, the relaxed vibe. But Gazdecki says San Francisco was actually not a good home base for his company.
We really struggled to find experienced leadership in San Francisco just because of the level of competition for those sorts of roles.
Gazdecki was frustrated by how crowded San Francisco was getting, so he started recruiting in other cities. He found qualified candidates in San Diego, and that's what convinced him to move.
What we looked at was, how can we create a competitive advantage by essentially being, a bigger fish in a smaller pond?
Gazdecki thinks San Diego could be the next Silicon Valley, but he doesn't know of any other Bay Area startups that have recently uprooted for greener pastures in San Diego. He hopes Business Apps is pioneering that migration, but he admits it's not a real trend yet.
It's a lot of work, but the benefits we're seeing clearly outweigh, the effort and cost it took to make the move. So we're pretty happy with what we did and couldn't really be more confident in the company's future here.
So, is San Diego the next Silicon Valley? Some say it could be. Most say the comparison is misguided. But everyone I spoke with for this story was optimistic that San Diego can make a name for itself. David Wagner, KPBS News.